maybe. It's live. You're doing it. He's doing it live.
Really?
He's doing it live.
He's so tech savvy.
Oh my goodness, that means the speaker's pointing right at me.
Yeah, and they can hear everything. They can hear everything you're saying.
So, what was I gonna say? So yeah, sorry.
Hello. Hi.
Well, I'd like to thank everyone for coming. We'll get started in just a minute. This is Tech Conference. We're having technical right now. So we're just trying to get the sound put together. So it'll just be another minute.
Going out of class.
That's really good.
I got to set up my class.
While we're waiting, for things to get started, just like to introduce myself.
Sorry.
Tech problems.
I am so sorry.
It's contagious. So my name is Mfon, Akpan. I would like to thank everyone for coming out here today. I really enjoy the Slate Conference. It's a great opportunity to really learn and be immersed and connect with a lot of brilliant people. So appreciate everyone for coming out. I am assistant professor of business at National Louis University in Chicago. There I teach a number of business courses. I would say my focus is accounting. And I enjoy social media. So that's why it's important that we get this video up, because what I'd like to talk to you today about is Adobe Spark. Has anybody used Adobe Spark? Okay. Well, let me ask some questions. Who has used social media in their classroom? Anybody? Okay. So let me ask this question, so I can get a gauge of the room. Who uses social media? Okay, let's start here. What kind of social media do you use? Facebook, Twitter. Great. That's me.
LinkedIn, and we have a Facebook for our work. It's called Workplace.
Okay. Great.
It's pretty much like Facebook, though.
Great. LinkedIn. Okay, great.
I'm on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, but I'm not active. I'm active on a program called WeChat, which is international. Here she must be.
What is WeChat?
It's WeChat. It's actually equivalent of Facebook, of Facebook, but used by Chinese people and a ton of international.
It's a very powerful tool. You can
use it
share
in
everything, you can do everything with it. You can pay things, you can, whatever you can think of, you can do physically.
Okay, that's great. It's a great way to communicate. I've learned something today. I've never heard of
And
WeChat.
you can write in Mandarin, you can write in English, you can send, you can call, you can video. You can send people.
Well, my Mandarin's not that good, so I'll
So
try
it
to
doesn't
English
need to
part.
be.
You don't have to, you don't have to. So it's uppercase W, uppercase C, WeChat, one word.
Okay, great.
Same thing, WeChat.
WeChat.
Facebook, but not that much. LinkedIn. I don't use Instagram. Oh, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, just to watch and read. I never tweet. Yeah. LinkedIn, Facebook. I'm not really active, but Pinterest.
Pinterest.
Oh yeah.
Pinterest, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Let me move up to the front row.
I've got Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat accounts because I need to keep on top of what my 14-year-old daughter is involved in, but I hate them all. For my own personal use, I use LinkedIn, Google Plus for G Plus for communication and things like that, and YouTube. I think of it as a.
Let me get a high five for the YouTube. Big YouTube. That's great. Awesome.
Yeah, just Facebook.
Facebook. Okay. Good. LinkedIn. Okay. Great.
LinkedIn, Facebook.
Okay.
than being there. Your day is manic. 45%.
Okay, we got the sound. Just so I can share, thank you so much. Just so I can share, I mean, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, Twitter, Pinterest. So I'm a little bit all over the place. And I do use the videos in the classroom. And I wanted to put this together for you with Adobe Spark. Sorry, I've got to go back in here and sign.
I can't even deal with that. I'm trying to get into this.
Is a great tool. So it's a great way to actually make content that I use for the classroom. I actually put together a video for our meeting today, just to give you an idea. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mfon Akpan. Thank you for attending my presentation, Increasing Classroom Engagement with Adobe Spark. We will begin with an intro and bio. We'll have a discussion about today's classroom. We'll look at media resources, and then we'll wrap up and take any questions and discussion. Let's get started. So this is an example of Adobe Spark. And just as I mentioned in the agenda, I've got a little presentation to talk about today's classroom, some experiences. And really this is kind of I look at this as a best practice, and my hope is you come away with this as a tool that could potentially help and give you some new ideas for the classroom. And not just the online but for the face-to-face classroom as well. So I'm going to kind of move ahead. We've had the intros, but I wanted to touch on this. One of the things, and I like to walk around, so one of the things or feedback that I've received, particularly from my accounting classes, from the students who are saying, the classes are heavy with PowerPoints, it's not very engaging, there's not a lot of inspiration on the side of the professor, and they're not inspired. So, to flip back to what we talked about in the beginning, when I raised the hand, asked everybody to raise their hand as far as who uses social media in the classroom, how many people raised their hand? Well, this is one, me, right? But we went across the room, and everyone is using what? Social media, right? They're using some type of social media. Now, when we look at these, we're looking at these, I guess, generations that we see in the workplace. We've got the baby boomers, we've got Gen X, and we've got millennials. I like to think I'm a millennial. I'm in this Gen X category. But what do you notice when we look at these different categories, comparing the three? What can you see that stands out with the millennials? I know it's a little small. What stands out?
Well, the adaptability and tech savviness.
Tech savviness, right? That's 78%. 78%. That's a huge number. Another statistic, and when I read this, I was kind of shocked. It says the average millennial spends 18 hours a day on some form of media. And I was thinking, how is this possible? There's only the last time I checked, there's 24 hours in a day. So how can you be on media 18 hours a day? So when I did my research on this, you can actually, and when they say media, they mean TV, texting. So you can watch a movie, and you can be on your phone on Facebook, and text messaging at the same time. So I was like, wow, and that adds up on average. That's 18 hours a day. So where do you think your students are? They're on the phone, right? They're on some form of media, right? They're on some form of media. Now, when we talk about this media, a majority of this, around 70% of that, is social media. a lot of the medium that everyone in here mentioned as well, right? They're on social media, connecting with each other, right? So, knowing that, and with me, I'm big on social media. And why I gave you the high five about the YouTube, I'm big on YouTube. I make all types of YouTube videos, I get a YouTube channel, I send out a lot of videos. Now, because of that, I had a big issue. I've got to make this content, right? And in particular, I like to make videos where I focus in on certain concepts, so key concepts. And the prior method, before I came across Spark of doing this, I would actually create PowerPoint, record PowerPoint videos. Has anybody did that before? What's your experience with recording a PowerPoint video?
It's a little awkward. Some things about it, you know, like the audio, you have to stop, you know, before you switch slides, otherwise it gets cut off in the transitions.
Yes. Well, and my big challenge is, if you make a mistake, what do you have to do? You got to go back and record this thing over again. So imagine if you've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 slides, you've got to go back and record everything all over again. So it's very time consuming. Also, you've got to put together the content. You've got to make the slides. Yeah. So for me, it became daunting when I've got 3 YouTube channels, and I commit myself to make videos for pretty much all of my online classes. And then for my face-to-face classes, I do certain videos. So then it became daunting to put together this content. Not necessarily, I would say I would use, not daunting, I would use time consuming. So I would use a lot of time doing that. So when I came across Adobe Spark, it's really a tool. It's a free tool, it's an online tool that allows you to make this content quickly. So for example, that video I made for today took me, not even 7 minutes to put together. So, and I'm able to save it, download it to MP4, and I love YouTube. So I upload it to YouTube or other mediums. So from YouTube, I'm able to have closed captioning. I can send the video to some mentioned Twitter. I can post it all around if need be. So it makes it a lot easier. And after this, we'll take a look at it. Hopefully, if you have any computers, we can actually sign in and you can try making a video. So what I found, making the videos, having these are a great way to increase engagement. It can be related to your course. So for me, it's business, it's accounting, but it can be any course, right? You can put together your own material. And when I talk about cost effective, it doesn't get any better than free, right? So it's totally free. One thing, it builds up a personal brand. Now, the way that Spark, and we'll look at that, the way it's set up, it forces you to be concise. Because the way it's built, you actually have these blocks where you can either insert photos, you can record over them, but you have a time limit. You can push over it, but it gives you a set time limit for that. So you can have as many blocks as you want, but it puts a limit on how long the content can be in the block. So it's great for creating course content and increasing accessibility. So the other thing, when I talk about this content, I make a lot of videos, and I'm starring in a lot of these videos. So I had some feedback from one of my students. They love the videos. I was like, wow, you like the videos? That's great. How can I improve? The student was saying, I love to see you. I see you in class, but I'd rather just see the content there, instead of you talking. I'd like to see the words. That makes it easier for me. The other thing is, I've been challenged across the board to make videos less than 4 minutes. It seems like that's just, from talking to students, they want 4 minutes or less. So I've had feedback. I've had a video that was 8 minutes, and the students were like, Brett, we liked it, but it was 8 minutes long. I'm like, wow. For me, 8 minutes isn't a long time, but that's challenged me, and I've actually put together videos looking for a 4-minute mark, and I'm actually there saying what I'm saying in less than 2 minutes, 3 minutes, so it's interesting. And before we get into that, just wanted to touch on these points. You know, the great thing about social media, and we all use it, it gives students access, right? It gives access to us. In the last presentation, we were talking about asynchronous environment. If you think about it, videos and YouTube videos, that gives you a way to connect. So you're not there, but they actually see you, they hear you, so it makes that connection. The other thing, which I think is important and which I think is really overlooked, is the data, right? So I collect my own data. So by having my own YouTube channel, by posting my videos, I know how many students from my personal data watch my videos. I know when, you know, I know how many times they looked at it. I know which videos are popular in which class. So I have my own data that I can use, not just the data that's in the learning management system. So I think that's powerful. So it's helped me to learn my students as well. So an example, particularly in my accounting courses, the students, when I'm working out problems, I get the most views. When it's just me talking about something, I don't get as many views. I get probably about 50%. With working a problem, I get about 100%. I'd say about 90, 95, 90% of the students, they're watching the videos. So that tells me what? Students like to see me working out the problems. Even in, this is online, blended and face-to-face. So across the board in all of the environments. So it also, it makes it fun, right? It makes it interesting for the students. It's interesting, for me it's interesting. I get to learn about different stuff, using different medium, connecting with students in different ways. And then the other thing, especially into the face-to-face classrooms, more so, the students will tell me, hey, I watched that video, I liked that video, you know, that was interesting. That was great, you did that. I've never seen something like that before. Never had someone work a problem out. That helped me with the homework. So I get a lot of positive feedback as well. So some best practices, I would say, is number one, have a strategy. And I think that's important as far as the strategy being consistent. So when I mentioned before I started having a problem with using the social media or using YouTube, where it became time consuming, that's because I implemented a strategy. Every week I'm gonna have a video where my class is giving them an update. So it's consistent. Each week I'm gonna work a problem for the course that's similar to the homework problem. So I stay consistent. The students can rely on that. They get used to that. So, and also there's no disappointment. You know, I've gotten the opposite feedback where maybe 1 week I skipped doing it, I get feedback from students, what happened? You normally post a video of the homework. You know, where is this? We don't see you in the video. So implementing a strategy and then creating quality content. So looking to make, if you're making videos, you know, make them as best as possible. You know, clear pictures. If you're actually working problems, to make it easy for people to see and accessible. And be positive. Always, you know, saying something good, right? To create that atmosphere. Particularly in online courses, I think that's important. Especially if it's asynchronous. The students, they're not interacting with you directly, but if they see a video of you speaking positively, that helps to encourage. I've got a lot of feedback, yes?
Curious, you say they really like the working out problems.
Yes.
What hardware are you using when you're working out a problem being recorded?
Good question. So I use YouTube. So I go in and create a live event and it takes you to Hangout. So I go to Hangouts.
But are you working it out on paper and recording it
That's
that way, or are you using a tablet? Or
on Excel. On Excel, I can show you right here. I use Excel. Has anyone used Google Hangouts or?
All the time.
Okay.
And just like you said, to create a live event and then share your desktop, which is what I assume you're going to be doing.
Hello, my name is Mfon. I'll just show you here's one.
You want to create a stunning website? I've already done it with Wix. Let me show you how it's done.
Hello, everyone. I'm going to get right into it. We're going to take a look at
So this is
an account practice exercise from Chapter 6. It's practice exercise 6-1A. Cost flows. Yeah, this is looking at life. Well, this is accounting life. So this is I'm sharing. Get into this problem PE 6-1A cost flows. So I'm using the Hangouts. And I'm sharing this units of item BC 1810 are purchased during November. So we're looking at the month of November. We've got November 2nd purchase, 1 unit. November 14th purchase, 1 unit. November 28th purchase, 1 unit. And we got the cost. And so assume that 1 unit is sold on November 30th. So to piggyback on that was a good question. So when I post these videos, I have data. So for this course, I'm able to see, I know how many students clicked on it, I know when they clicked on it, and have viewed this video. And I can also see how long I know how long the video is. I can see the average of, who's been there 2 minutes, 1 minute, 6 minutes, 5 minutes. So you have that data with this. Just to show you something else.
Just wanted to touch on some of the organizations.
This video is a Spark video. So this is a Spark video that I posted in YouTube. So I created this video in Spark, and this was really a student, and this is a face-to-face class. And the student, he just asked me, he said, you make these videos, can you make a video with just the text? This was a student who was telling me, Professor, I'd love to see you, but I'd rather see the text instead of you talking. So I put together this video. It's 2 minutes long.
External auditing profession.
That's me
the
talking.
Public Company
This was
Accounting
all
Oversight
in Spark.
PCAOB.
So it
The
moves
Public
through.
Company Accounting Oversight Board is fondly referred to as Peekaboo. The Public Company Accounting Oversight Board is a
So all of this
private,
was put
non-profit
together,
organization
and this
that
took me
oversees
probably
auditors of public companies.
About 10 minutes.
The following are the 4 primary responsibilities of the Public Company Accounting Oversight Board as it relates ASB, the rules, many responsibilities, one of which is to
2-minute video. Touching on that, you see me there with the auditing book and the textbook and things like that. So I do a lot of these videos. But what I found is Spark actually it streamlines the process. It makes it a lot easier.
The commercials are there? It's
On my YouTube?
Spark commercials?
Yeah, I have the commercials on my YouTube.
The YouTube or the Spark?
Oh, that's YouTube.
That's just YouTube.
That's YouTube.
It's a public channel.
The videos,
Yeah.
majority of them are public. Yeah.
Well, I think you get the advertisement because your account with YouTube is one that will show advertisements. I actually got a YouTube Red channel so that I can show YouTube videos in class without the ads popping up for whatever it might be.
Right, well you can, so the thing of it is, that was a good point. You can actually turn that off and turn it on. So that was a good point. I have it on, so I have the ads on there. But you can actually, it's up to you, you can turn it off, turn it on. You can also make the videos private. So for example, well, there's unlisted and there's private. So there's unlisted and there's private. So and they have a number of settings. So you can go in and change the settings, whether you want to have commercials. You can even decide what type of commercials you'd like to have, what type of banner ads, video ads that you can stop, play. So that's up to you.
Can the students play the
So normally, for me, I always wind up back at YouTube. So everything kind of, all roads lead to YouTube for me. So I think but that was a good question. Yes, sir.
Do you use the automated closed captioning and then clean it up, or do you prepare a transcript, or how do you do the closed captioning?
I use the automated and clean it up.
Okay.
Yes. Which helps. Yeah. That was a good question. Good question. Oh, hey, we're at questions. Any other any other thoughts or questions or yes? Sir.
Just a note that you mentioned, trying to get the videos down to 4 minutes. I've read there's been a lot of research done on it, and they basically said if you go past 6 minutes, you start to lose. I mean, obviously, we've got more attention than that. We can watch 2.5-hour long movies, but if you're trying to get learning to occur, then after 6 minutes, you're starting to lose it, and it drops off quickly. So keeping them down to little chunks like that and interspersing the videos with something else, whatever it might be, reading, go get a sandwich, something.
Right. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Can you demonstrate the application itself a little bit?
Sure. If you can go and Google Adobe Spark, we can take a look at it.
Try it. It's too slow here.
Oh, the light is too slow?
I can't get in.
Is there what's the Wi-Fi and what's the password?
You
guessed.
So this is a little bit of my portfolio of videos that I have through Spark. So just to touch on one, this is one that I use after this loads. I have like a little introductory video in my courses. So I put this together in Spark. The music, everything is coming from Spark.
You pick. You select.
Yes, you can select.
The background too.
You select the background. It's already pre-done.
This is pretty cool.
And like you said, it's about less than a minute long. Let's go. So once we get in here, you need to. So when you get to Adobe Spark, you go in there and you'll sign up for Adobe Spark. It's totally free. So the Spark video. So there's Spark, and inside of Spark, there's actually 3 areas. The area that we're talking about and we're using is Spark Video. They have another Spark Web that helps you to make web pages. There's another Spark that helps you to make apps like memes for social media. So the one that we use is the video. So what you'll do, you'll see once you sign in, you've got post, page, and then video. So you just go to video. It'll give you a little video here if you want an introduction. You go in. All right, we're ready. So as you see here, there's I call them boxes. So you have these boxes, and these are, I guess, your templates. So from here, you can really decide. You'll start here, and it corresponds with the boxes at the bottom. So what happens, this is your first, I guess, box, you want to say, for the video. You can pull in video, you can write in text, you can pull in a photo, or you can use an icon right here. Now you can decide the type of template you want. If you want a full screen, if you want to split screen it, so you want to have 2 items on the screen, you can actually click over here to do that. So then you're able to put 2 photos or write text on each side.
So that, I think what the term you want is frames.
Frames, yes.
So you record your own little video, and then you can pull your video onto one of those, like if it's the split, I can put video over there and can put a text on the side.
Yes, exactly. What I like to do, I like the text. So you can just go right here, somewhere in the Slate, right? So we got the text. That's it. If we'd like to record, so here's what I meant by the limit. So you see the maximum here is 10 seconds. You can push over. So I've been able to push over that limit, but that's when I talked about and mentioned before about being concise, it kind of forces you in a certain frame. So you got 10 seconds, but you can have as many, I can call them frames, but you can have as many of the frames or the boxes that you want. So you can just continue on.
Does it mean each
Slide.
frame, each slide actually you can have 10 seconds of audio? Does that mean that, or you?
You can, but you can push it over. It
Okay.
does.
Okay.
But I've been able to keep talking, and it goes over that 10 seconds.
Okay.
It just creates a new slide.
No. It allows you to push over that 10 seconds.
And can you export them as like MP4s?
Yes. So when you go right here, you see this share? You'll click here, share, and then you'll download it.
Okay.
So you got Slate. I don't know if it's working. Oh, there's no microphone here. So, but you just click this little microphone right here, and you can talk. So if you heard my voice there, I just clicked on the microphone, say what I needed to say. Great. Let's go to the next one. So, text.
So that marker there, the time marker, that's how long you will want the slide to stay up there in the eventual video.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, let's take a look. Also your sound.
The
which
sound
you
as well,
record.
okay.
That's what we said. So we made a video. How long did that take us to do? A few seconds, right? So to go and show some of the other features, you've got, if you look over here on the right-hand side, you'll see the layout, music, and themes. That's where you hear that background music, like you were mentioning before. You can go in here, you can choose whatever type of music you like to have as background music, if you'd like to have some type of background music. Then you can go in here and change the themes. So we change the theme.
So what happens if you record your voice? Will that music still play in the background, or will it cut it out?
It will. It'll play in the background. So you're able to, really, you can go play around with it after you've created the video. So you have everything there. If you want to change it up a little bit, you can go and change the background. So that's what I do. I think you saw that video I play as an intro for my courses. I just go back in, just change the number, the course numbers, and the name, and then click on a button, and then just change the background, maybe the music. I've got a whole new video. I just click save.
Just a note of something that I tried it myself. It works just like PowerPoint. You can take the things on the bottom and move them around. So.
Yes.
So this is pretty cool.
I mean, that's what I said when I saw it, because this is like for me, this is a video making machine, right? So I'm able to get in, I can make content quickly. And as we were mentioning before about the issues with PowerPoint videos, you've got each of these frames, so if there's an issue, it's easy to change it up. You don't have to go back and record the whole thing over and over.
I'm curious, I know Microsoft also has come out with something called Mix. Do you have any experience with that? I don't, and I've only heard of it, and just wondered how they compare.
From my limited experience with Mix, it's a PowerPoint add-on, if I'm not mistaken. I've used it not recently. As far as comparing to the time that I have used it, I would say the Adobe Spark is a lot easier. And it's web-based, it's not an add-on to PowerPoint. So that's the other great thing. So you can access your videos anywhere, as long as you have the internet connection, and then you can download as well. So, let's see. And as we saw here, you can download the video. And there it is, download it as an MP4. So we've got our video. We can upload it to YouTube. And then you can travel the world.
How did you download that? I'm sorry,
Oh, sorry.
I was playing.
If you see the preview,
Yeah,
then right next to it, you see the share.
yeah.
You click on that share, and then you're able to download it as an MP4.
Is that your only choice in that before?
As far as the one-stop, yes, that's what I see.
That should get you pretty much anywhere.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Sure, yeah, just was curious.
Are there like pre-built templates available that have like kind of already animations built out?
Well, so this is how they, not in the free version.
Okay.
So if you become a member, if you join Premiere, so you have their whole suite.
Okay.
But
Oh, so if you have like a Creative Cloud? account?
yes,
Oh, okay. Cool.
you can actually buy content. You can buy content. But for this, so for the free version of the Adobe Spark app, you got the layout, you got the music, you got the themes. So basically, you're pulling in your own content. As far as the videos, I have never put in a video into the Spark.
No.
I've never put in a video. I've only put in, you can, there's that option. I've never used that. I've used the photos and the text.
And those are JPEGs generally that you bring in?
Yes.
So actually you could, if you saved, if you had existing PowerPoint slides,
Right.
you could do a save as of the slides you want as JPEGs and then bring those in.
Yes.
So that you use the PowerPoint features. It would make it a more powerful tool in a way because you could bring in all those JPEGs from PowerPoint in whatever, font you wanted and the graphics, either you created your own or and you can pull them in that way.
Exactly. So we'll take it back to our the video that was put together for us today. If you look at that, that was a PowerPoint slide that I used, and I actually saved that.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mfon Akpan. Thank you for attending my presentation, Increasing Classroom Engagement with Adobe Spark. We will begin with an intro and bio. We'll have a discussion about today's classroom.
So that was a good point, and I took that straight from the actual presentation. Not to say that I'm lazy and didn't want to make another one, but I just pulled it and was able to save it that way and use it. So that was good. So really, I look at this as a tool for efficiency. So it helps you to really, I mean, for me, it really saved me a lot of time using this tool. Any other questions?
Thank you for showing that.
Huh?
Thank you for showing
Oh,
that.
you're welcome. You're welcome.
It looks like it's pretty easy to use.
I mean, for me, it's very easy. Very easy. And like you said, we made a video, and how many seconds did it take us to make that video? You know, with music, it's ready to go, save it.
So if you were going to train complete faculty, if we all had computers, then, but then we could all have to download it to our devices and open an account and.
Well, there's nothing to download. So as long as you have the internet and you can go to the website, that would be. The other thing, I mean, this, in my opinion, this would not make sense if you're not using, unless it's going somewhere else. Does that make sense? If you're using social media, if this is something that you're using in the classroom or maybe personally, this is the tool for that.
But did you say you needed an account on Adobe though?
Yeah, you sign up for a free account
Free account.
with Adobe Spark.
I did it here just by, I went, one of the options is to use a Google or a Facebook account. Apparently you can use an Adobe account as well, but I just used a Google account. I mean, and it does its verification through my Google account, and I had it. And you don't need to download that thing to the MP4. You can create a link and place that link apparently anywhere you want to. I'm just going off of what I'm seeing here.
You're correct, but that's the link. So you can post that in social media.
And Adobe then is the one who's hosting the
Right.
Spark video.
Exactly. Now, so the reason I didn't really want to go that route because I always go YouTube because of accessibility. So you have, I think we talked about the closed captioning. So you have the option in YouTube. Well, I use the YouTube closed captioning. So that's why I say all roads for me lead to YouTube.
Well, there's also in YouTube this channel, because I mean, I would, when I'm making videos for a class, I'll make a channel for that class.
Yes.
So then students can go into that channel and pick any one of the videos that I've made, and that's a nice way to organize. So
Yes.
it's really cool. Thank you.
Thank you. That's great.
Can you add captions here in Spark, or do you have to go to YouTube? Like, is there an option here?
I go to YouTube.
Okay, but Spark has an option if you have to add your own.
Closed caption?
Yeah. Okay, so it doesn't have.
We've got about a few more minutes. Did you guys want to see anything else? Any other videos?
Can you try to pull a video into this?
Sure. Let's see.
I want to see how it works. If you don't have one ready, then never mind.
Well, we just downloaded the Spark video. Let's see if we can pull that up. Doing the tests. I hope this encourages everyone to use some social media in the classroom.